when we are worshipping the deity, invocation of the deity is very important. Though in modern world, complete traditional method of worshipping the deity is not possible, but still we should do as much as possible, right? Until and unless we are invoking the deity to whom our prayers are going. This is one of the major reasons of failure of remedies, or the main reason behind why remedies are not giving the desired results. Now, the prime deity that we are worshipping, depending on whether it is Ishta Devata in our regular worship or a particular Devata, for example, goddess in Navaratri, the invocation is done for the main god only, generally. Or in a bigger worship, invocation is done for every deity, right? So invocation for Ganesha is done when Ganesha is being worshipped, and invocation of other deities are done when other deities are being worshipped. Now, in this invocation, God is considered like a guest, right? So it's like you are doing prayers for invoking the deity, you are inviting the deity, and the deity will come. And you will treat the deity as you will treat your friend. Sorry, as you will treat your guest. So as as you give water to guest and, make the guest wash their hands and all of these things, we also do these things with God. So after inviting the God, after invoking the God, invocation for invocation, there are invocation related mantras which you can use. Right? These are called Avahan mantras, or Dhyan mantras also you can use. Right? So Dhyan mantras, meditative mantras are used to invoke the deity. Right? This is multiple Dhyan mantras are there for multiple deities. Invocation mantras can be done, Dhyan mantras can be done, meditative mantras can be done, and we make a prayer for the God to come. After that, traditionally speaking, God can be worshipped in idol image or in Shaligram Shila or in Shivling. If you don't have idol or photo of the God, then in Shaligram Shila or in Shivling, any deity can be worshipped. For worshipping deity in Shaligram Shila or Shivling, you don't need to invite them. You can just start worshipping the deity. The formal worship is of three methods. One is Panchopachara, where you worship the deity with 5 materials. Dashopachara, where you worship the deity with 10 offerings. And Shodashopachara, when you worship the deity with 16 offerings. Right? More than 16 are also there, but these three are generally used. In this, Panchopachara specifically is very, very important. Why? Because as you know, our human body is made up of 5 elements. So that is there. Body made up of 5 elements, and when you do Panchopachara Poojan, all these 5 elements of the body are balanced. That gives you a good physique. This balance gives you freedom from diseases. This balance also gives you balance in your life. Also in astrology as well, how it is decided that sun is the karak for, sun is the significator for father, sun have this type of aspect, sun produces this result or that result, how the sages have found that. Of course, they have found it with experience, but I don't think that experience was the basic funda behind, was the basic technique, was the basic energy behind formulation of techniques. Our sages have associated planets with different tattvas, different gunas, different prakritis, different qualities, different natures. This association was done based on observing the planets in the sky and the changes that they make in the season, nature, etc. And after their association to tattvas and all of these things, astrological principles were made and was proposed by a sage, which were later taken on and used by different sages, and the technique which worked found the place in the astrological tradition that we follow, I teach. So in astrology also, everything is consisting of 5 elements. So when you do Panchopachara Puja, which is the basic bare minimum puja, you are not only worshipping God, pleasing God, you are also pleasing all the planets, purifying all the planets, and strengthening all the planets in your horoscope as well. So basically, Panchopachara Puja is the best thing that you can do for your horoscope, and if you do Panchopachara Puja every day for at least 1 year, you yourself will see change in your life, that small problems will go out of your life. And almost every planet will be very strong. You know, these normal things that you see, because I have a debilitated Venus in Rashi, or because I have a debilitated Venus in Navamsha, I am not getting good relationship, I am suffering in relationship, I am not having any type of relationship in my life. These things I have seen only happen with those people who don't have a regular daily puja worship procedure, or they are not worshipping gods properly. When you are worshipping God properly, of course, if you are having a debilitated Venus in Rashi or Navamsha, its implications can be there, but the implications will be very little, very small. The results will be there, but it will be very small. And when you dedicatedly worship God formally over the years using these methods, then you will see that only negligible bad result of these combinations will be there, and all the life can be told as the all the life will be satisfactory. So it is very important to be done. In Panchopachar, first one thing is Gandham, right? Gandh is the tilakam. Generally, sandalwood, vermilion, these things are taken, and the tilakam is placed in the forehead of the god. This is Gandh. This stabilizes the earth element in your body. And because earth element is Mercury, it strengthens Mercury, purifies Mercury from any malefic influences that is there on Mercury. Not only Mercury, it also purifies Gemini and Virgo Rashis. And it also purifies Capricorn and Taurus Rashis as well. It is also good for purification of ascendant, strengthening the ascendant. Second thing is Pushpa, giving flowers to the deity, offering flowers to the deity. It is represented by either Tattva, it balances the either Tattva, strengthens Jupiter, strengthens the Rashis of Jupiter, Pisces, and Sagittarius, and it gives strength to ascendant also. When you give dhupam to the deity, right, fragrant dhupam to deity, when you offer, it balances the air element in your body, and with balance of air element, it remedies Rahu and Saturn. It strengthens the Rashi Capricorn and Aquarius, and it makes the Rashi Gemini and Libra give good result also. When you light a lamp, that is giving deepam, the fire element becomes strengthened, and it is an automatic remedy for Mars, Ketu, and Sun. Not only this, the signs Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio also become powerful. In fact, Sagittarius Rashi also becomes purified. Ultimately, when you offer prasadam to the deity, when you give offerings to the deity, it can be offering of a fruit, or it can be offering of a home-cooked food or anything. It strengthens the water element, giving strength to Moon and Venus. It balances the water element in your body. It strengthens the Rashi Cancer, Libra, and Taurus in your horoscope. And along with that, Pisces and Scorpio also become powerful. So those who offer these 5 things to any deity, preferably their Ishta Devata, daily, for more than 1 year regularly, you will see in their horoscope that no matter how bad the combination is, at least they are not denied a particular happiness that everyone needs in their life. And as one continue to do these practices for 5 or more than 5 years, you will see that the life of the person is almost near perfect. Of course, the blemishes, etc. of the planets are there, but at least bare minimum good result is always there. So if you strengthen the water element by offering prasadam, food, fruits, etc. to the deity every day, and you do it for 2 or more than 2 years, then you will see, then even if someone is having a debilitated Venus, even that person is not outrightly denied any relationship, right? Because of the debilitation of Venus, the relationships can be, there can be problems in relationship, there can be struggle in relationship, there can be sufferings in relationship, but the person is not ultimately denied relationship. And these sufferings, etc., are also very easily manageable just by controlling the anger, correcting the attitude. One can make peace in relationship also. So these remedies, when done continuously for 1 or more than 1 year, is the best thing that you can do. Improving your puja procedure and doing it continuously is a constant remedy where you don't have to do remedy for different elements one after another, and it gives more result than anything else. Other remedies, if you do other than this, first of all, if your puja procedure is not correct, any remedy that you do will be fruitless, will not work. Secondarily, till the time you are chanting a mantra of the planet, planet will remain good. 1 year after that, the planet will remain good. But after that, the planet will start deteriorating once again, come back to the basic natal condition. So if you want to do permanent remedies of the planets, and if you want your remedies to be more and more effective, you have to improve your daily worship procedure. That is what I am teaching you in this video. After this Panchopachara, the next step is Dashopachara. Dashopachara means basically worshipping the deity with 10 offerings. In this 10 offerings, first path is given. Now, giving this path can be done by basically giving water. So you take a spoon, you take water into it and rotate it in front of the deity once, rotate it in front of the idol or photo of the deity, or in front of Shivling, or in front of Shaligram. You rotate it once and then drop that water in the feet of the deity at the base of the photo, base of the idol, or base of Shivling, or over Shivling, right? So this path is given. Now you can use water into a spoon, you can use flowers, you can use unbroken rice, akshat, any of these things you can use. So first path is given, then argh is given. Once again, a water is taken and it is given, right? Argh is water for washing the face. Then Achman is done. Achman is cleaning the body, washing the hands and feet, because God is the guest. Then you give water for Achman, washing the hand and feet. Then you give water for Snan, then you give water for bathing. And for the purpose of bathing, either simple water can be given, or Panchamrit, which is generally used in worship, Panchamrit can be given. For Devi, water can be mixed with vermilion, and that can be given. Or for quickly pleasing the deity, fragrant water such as rose water, etc., can also be given for bathing, which will be very, very beneficial. So a special type of water for bathing can also be given to the deity according to the desire. Most preferably giving water, rose water, or water mixed with haldi, water mixed with chandan, right? Water mixed with vermilion, water mixed with, kumkum. These special type of waters can be given for a special appeasement of the deity and fulfillment of special wishes and desires. After that, vastra or cloth is given to the deity. So one can offer an actual cloth, or one can take, this kalava, what we Hindu tie in our hand, and one can give that kalava to the god that is representative of vastra. To male gods before vastra, Yagyopavit is also given. The sacred thread is also given. For female goddesses, for Devi, only vastra is given. After that, Nivedan or prayer is done to the deity. Your desire you have to tell to the deity. After that, Gandh is given, that is doing tilakam of the deity. After that, flower is offered. After that, dhupam is lighted, then deepam is lighted, and ultimately Naivedyam, or the food or the prasadam, fruit, etc., is given. This is the Dashopachara worship. If one wants to go more elaborate than the Dashopachara worship, then Shodashopachara worship using 16 elements is done, where first you give water for Padya, washing the feet. Then you give water for Argya, washing the face. Then you give water for Achman, washing the hands. Then you give water for Snanam, bathing, and once again, like told before, you can use special types of waters also. Then you give vastra, cloth, right? So either you give an actual cloth to the deity, and after the worship have finished, you can donate this cloth, give it to the priest, give it in temple, or give it to some needy person, or you can use kalava. You can use a mauli to offer to all gods, and for male gods at the place of vastra, before vastra, Yagyopavit, the sacred thread is also given. After this, abhushan is given. Abhushan is basically means jewelry. So in special worships, one can actually offer jewelry and then can donate it or keep for personal use. Or at the place of jewelry, you see, whenever you don't have an object to offer, you can mentally imagine that I have a very beautiful jewelry for God that I am offering to God. So mental imagination can also be done. And when jewelry is not there, just water can be given, flower can be given, and broken rice can be given, as I told you. After abhushan, gandh is given, the tilakam is done. Then pushpa, flower, is offered. Then dhoop is burned, dhoop is shown to the god. Then deep is burned, lamp is lighted, it is shown to the god. Then Naivedyam, the offering of fruit, prasadam is given. After that, once again, water is given for Achaman, washing hands, considering that as we have given Naivedyam, prasadam to the deity have consumed it. After that, tambul or betel leaves is given to the deity. In Hinduism, giving betel leaves is considered good, is considered a mark, that is considered an action which promotes a healthy relationship with the person you give betel leaves with, a lovely relationship with the person, a relationship of understanding with the person. So betel leaves are given. After betel leaves, reading Stotra etc. of the deity should be done. Istava reading should be done. Stotra reading should be done, which further pleases the deity. Right? After that, Tarpan is done. And ultimately, namaskaram or salutations to the deity, showing respect to the deity is done. This is Shodashopachara Puja. Tarpan is a process which I will try to cover in some video. Right now, let's not go into Tarpan because Tarpan is in itself a procedure. Right? So Tarpan can be done. Right? As I told you, you can take the idol of the deity. You can take photo of the deity. Or in Shivling, in river Ganga, in Shaligram, you can worship any deity without invocation. That's not a problem at all. When you invoke deity every day before worship, then it makes sure that your prayers are reaching the deity and it is fulfilled quickly. Point one. Secondarily, generally in daily worship, only Panchopachara worship one does. One can do, that is enough. In special worship, for example, in special Deepavali worship, in special Navaratra worship, because it goes for 9 days, Dashopachara can be used. Deepavali worship, etc., which is done once a year only, proper Shodashopachara, if done, is best. Right, so depending on the frequency of the worship, different modes of worship can be used. And as I told you before, if anything is unavailable, you are offering it mentally to the deity. This imagination is also sufficient. That's not a problem, right? In fact, I should tell you that this avahan that I have just told you about the deity is my secret tool for purification of gemstones also. Generally, gemstone is a very good method of remedies, right? When you cannot recommend gemstone for every planet, only for planets who are giving good result but are weak in the horoscope, you can recommend gemstones. Now this gemstone the native will purchase and then the native will wear, but you see this stone is not having much power. The stone have to be infused with the power of the deity. So either one can infuse the gemstone with the power of their Ishta Devata, or one can infuse the gemstone with the power of the planet to whom the gemstone belongs to. In that particular case, you have to keep a gemstone in a, you should keep a gemstone in a plate or a cup. And then imagine the gemstone like it is an idol of the deity. And because you are going to purify it once only, complete Shodashopachara worship you should do of the gemstone, imagining that this gemstone is the idol of the god or is God itself. And after that, you can wear the gemstone. I have been recommending this method to my clients since last 4 or 5 years. And what I have seen, that this makes the gemstone highly effective. After doing this process, if there is any blemish that is present in the gemstone, because with this modern world and new methods of cheating and fooling people, if some gemstone is heated, treated, it cannot be really known. So blemishes of the gemstones don't affect. Natural effect of the gemstones become more powerful, and gemstones quickly keep on affecting for longer time. Basically, gemstones become energized. And this type of energization is better than any energization because this is the best, highest method of energization that one can do. It makes the gemstone more effective, takes the blemishes away. And if there is any side effect of the gemstone that is supposed to happen, generally it does not happen, or if it happens in very little or very less quantity. Right, so this is a very, very secret tool which I have revealed for the first time to the public. Of course, my special clients already know about it. Right, but for you, I have recommended it for the first time, and those who are practicing astrology, they can, take this practice and recommend it to their clients, and you will see the effect yourself. Not only this, a deity can also be invoked in a yantra. In the same manner, at the place of idol, take the yantra. Imagine that yantra is the idol or the body of the god, and do Shodashopachara Poojan, and after that you can install the yantra in your home. Only installation after doing this process is an effective installation. If you don't do this process and install a yantra in your home, it is as useless as a painting of your dog, or painting of a horse, or painting of any animal for that matter, right? So energization is very necessary, right? Or a painting of human also, right? So when you only energize it, because a yantra without energization is just a figure, it's just a drawing, right? It have no more uses than that. So while keeping yantra also, if you are keeping yantra in your temple, or if you are placing yantra in a wall, or if you are keeping a yantra on your table or in your drawer, and you want it to work, you want it to be effective, if you want it to do some astrological remedy for you, want to do it to, do some vastu remedy for you, or you want it to show the real result, Panchopachara, Dashopachara, most preferably Shodashopachara Poojan you have to do before installation. Otherwise, it is not going to work at all, right? This is something that you should understand very, very clearly. As I told you before also, that if things are not available, one can also imagine mentally offering the things to the deity. So many a times when what is better than this Panchopachara, Shodashopachara or Dashopachara Puja is Manas Puja. Many a times we are not able to worship God with Panchopachara, Shodashopachara or Dashopachara. Though whenever you sit for worship, Panchopachara is very easy to arrange, but still, many a times this is not possible. And also additionally, what one can offer to God. Even if you take best of flowers from earth, there will be some blemishes. Even if you offer best of water from earth, there will be some blemishes. So here comes the concept of Manas Puja, mental worship of deity. In this Manas Puja, what happens? You imagine God as being situated in a big throne made up of gold. The God is situated there, completely bedecked with all the ornaments. And you are standing in front of God, and you are offering all these things to God. This is a mental imagination that you are doing. So at the start of the worship, you can sit in a meditative pose. Imagine God as being situated on a throne made up of gold, completely bedecked, completely into all the type of jewelry that the God wears, and you are standing in front of the God and offering all these 5, 10, or 16 things. This you can do. Or you can read Manas Stotram. Almost every God have a Manas Puja Stotram. Reading that, there is imagination of, there is this particular imagination that I am offering this to God, or I am offering that to God. This Manas Puja is available for every God. That Manas Puja also you can do. The speciality with Manas Puja is, first of all, before worship, pranayam, etc. is very important to calm the mind. When you do Manas Pujan, it already calms the mind. Secondarily, with Manas Pujan, the mind thought becomes concentrated also. So that is another benefit. Additionally, as we all may know, that meditation is very important for spiritual progress. In Manas Puja, because we have to imagine the deity and imagine us offering multiple things to the deity, it also gives good result of meditation when it is done regularly. Like, for example, one thing is there. It is said that if one worships Devi, one should not have lust, one should respect women and all of that. Now, just saying that one should not have lust is nearly impossible. Manas Puja helps you. Now, when you do Manas Puja for goddess, you will imagine goddess being situated on a throne. Now, common thing is that you will not imagine goddess as someone who is ugly. Certainly, you will imagine goddess as a beautiful woman. Now you will imagine goddess as a beautiful woman, and she is goddess, so you cannot have any type of desired, hatred, greed, or lust regarding goddess. Certainly you cannot have that. And then you will do Manas Pujan also. So slowly, slowly you will purify your mind. and you will detach yourself from greed, anger, lust, and all of these things, and you will actually be able to respect a woman. This will make your worship procedure, even your spirituality, 1,000 times more powerful. This is the power of Manas Pujan. This is the power of mental worship. First of all, Manas Pujan is more powerful, more effective than normal worship. Mental worship is more powerful, more effective than normal worship. It is found through experience also. Mental worship makes your mind thoughts calm, which better prepares you for the forthcoming steps of puja. That is better. And because this is including imagination, right? This is including concentration. It also gives good result of meditation, kundalini awakening, realization of the self, realization of the soul, being more calm, more happy, more contented. These are results which are very easily felt in one's life if one is having practice of doing Manas Puja every day, right? Or if one have the habit of doing Manas Puja. Most importantly, this particular thing that we should respect a woman, and all these traits that are told as important for a devotee automatically develops if one does Manas Puja, right? So Manas Puja is very important, and Manas Puja should be done. You can normally offer Panchopachara, and after that you can do Manas Puja. And if you trust my words, then don't start a worship without Manas Puja. Do Manas Puja first. If you can read Manas Puja Stotram, read the Manas Puja Stotram while imagining. Imagine first, then read Manas Puja Stotram, or read Manas Puja Stotram first, then imagine. If you cannot do that, then you just imagine. In the starting, you just try to sit and imagine a throne. Then you start imagining throne and God. Then you start imagining throne and God, and you offering things. And in 6 to 8 months, you will perfect it. And once you have perfected it, then you should understand that now you are really treading on the path of having spiritual progress. Until and unless you can do Manas Puja, mental imagination properly, there is no spiritual progress at all. Talking about other things is useless, right? So this is one thing that have to be very clearly understood. Manas Puja is the best that you can do. I will give you an example of Manas Puja Stotram, right, by the end of the video. But few other important things are also there. So let's talk about it. Generally, because you are going to worship God in idol, 2 Shivling, 3 idols of Ganesh, 3 idols of Goddess Durga, 2 pair of conch shell, 2 pair of Gomati Chakram, 2 pair of Shaligram should not be in your home, should not be in your worship place. If it is there, either increase one more or decrease one. For worshipping, you can take the idol made up of stone, you can take an idol made up of wood, you can made up of idol made up of gold, or you can take an idol made up of any other metal. That is best, right? Any of these things you can do, you can take, and these idols you can worship. For worshipping, for invocation, for meditation, you should use Vedic mantras. If you don't know Vedic mantras, or if you are not a Brahmin, not initiated in Vedic tradition, then you should use Tantric mantras. Even if you don't know Tantric mantras, then only Nama mantra, only taking the name of the deity, saying Ram, 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 Krishna, 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 and offering these things to the God just by saying Ram, 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 Krishna, Krishna, Krishna is also enough sufficient. Worshipping God just by taking the name, only chanting Ram, Ram, Ram 108 times, or Ram, Ram, Ram half an hour without counting is also enough. And even if one cannot do that, then only offering these 5 things, or only offering the things of Panchopachara, Dashopachara, or Shodashopachara is enough. Sit in the temple, clean the temple, offer these 5, 10, or 16 things, and the worship is done. Or offer these 5, 10, or 16 things, then take the name of the God for half an hour, and worship is okay. Better than this is also chanting the Tantric mantra of the gods, and even better than this is also chanting the Vedic mantras of the god. But to chant the Vedic mantras of the god, you have to be a Brahmin initiated in Vedas. These things have to be there. Now, talking of Manas Pujan, as I told you, generally Manas Pujan of every god is easily available that you can find, but still in a case if you cannot find Manas Pujan of a particular god, then what you do? If you cannot find Manas Puja of any particular god, then you just sit in a meditative state. Right? And then first chant in mind or say Om Lam Prithvyatmakam Gandham Parikalpayami. And imagine that by saying this, while saying this or after saying this, you have put tilkam on the god. Then say Om Ham Akashatmakam Puspam Parikalpayami. Imagine that you have offered flower. Then say Om Yam Vayavyatmakam Dhupam Parikalpayami. Imagine that you have shown dhupam to the deity. Then Om Ram Vahnyatmakam Deepam Darshayami. Imagine that you have shown lamp to the deity. Then Om Vam Amritatmakam Naivedyam Samarapayami. Imagine that you have given prasadam to the deity. And then ultimately say Om Som Sarvatmakam Sarvopacharam Samarapayami, and imagine that all of these things are being accepted by God. Even when you are actually lighting a lamp, actually burning dhup, actually lighting dhupam, actually giving flower, or actually doing the tilkam of the deity, if you can also chant these mantras, then it will be better, then it will be best. Right? So this is my tip for today. Properly invoke the deity. One of the Panchopachara, Dashopachara, Shodashopachara is very essential to be done. In fact, if you are using gemstones or yantra as a remedy, then their invocation of divinity in that gemstone or in that yantra by Panchopachara, Dashopachara or Shodashopachara is essential. Right? Some things cannot be kept in a particular amount, that should be avoided, which type of idol should be used, etc. These things I have told you today, and this if you incorporate in your daily puja worship, I am pretty sure that remedies will be more effective for you. You will do 50% of work, 50% of the work God will do. Right? The thing that we call getting the blessing of God, living under the shadow or guidance of God, what is that thing? You will realize when you correct these things from your worship procedure. Now, how does Manas Pujan is like? How does a Manas Pujan Stotram is like? I will give you an example. This is Devi Manas Pujan. Navaratri is going on, so I am taking Manas Pujan of Devi. Either you can read the complete Sanskrit, or you can read this Hindi translation also. This is general book of Durga Shaptashati, which is available with Gita Press Gorakhpur. So by reading this Hindi texts also, you can do Manas Pujan, or you can read the Sanskrit also. Reading Sanskrit is certainly more effective. So how it goes? Udyachandan kunkumaruna payodhara bhira plavitam nananyarghamani pravala gatitam dattam grihanambike amrishtam surasundari virbhito hastambuje bhaktito matah sundari bhakta kalpalatike sri paduka madarat. Translation you can read below. Devendradi bhirarchitam surganairadaya singhasanam चंचत कांचन संचयाभिरचितं चारु प्रभाभास्वरम् एतच्चम्पक केतकी परिमलं तैलं महानिर्मलं गन्धोद्वर्तनमादरेण तरुणी दत्तं गृहाणाम्बिके पश्चाद्देवी गृहाण शम्भुगृहिणी श्री सुन्दरी प्रायसो गन्धद्रव्य समूह निर्भरतरं धात्री फलं निर्मलं तत्कैशान परिशुद्ध्य कंकतिकया मंदाकिनी स्त्रोतसी स्नात्वा प्रोज्वल गंधकं भवतु हे श्री सुंदरी त्वन्मुदे सुराधिपति कामिनी कर सरोजनालिधृतां सचंदन सकुंकुमा गुरुभरेण विभ्राजितां महापरिमलोज्ज्वलां सरस शुद्ध कस्तूरिकां गृहानवरदायिनी त्रिपुर सुंदरी श्रीपदे गंधर्वामर किन्नर प्रियतमा संतान हस्तांबुज प्रस्तारे घ्रियमाणमुत्तमतरं काश्मीर जापिंजरं मातभास्वर भानुमंडल लसत कांति प्रदानोज्ज्वलं चैतन्यर्मल मातनोतु वसनं श्री सुंदरी त्वन्मुदम्. स्वर्णाकल्पित कुंडले श्रुतयुगे हस्तांबुजे मुद्रिका मध्ये सारसनानितंब फलके मंजीरमग्निद्वये हारो वक्षसि कंकणो कन्वर्णत्कारो करद्वन्द्वके विन्यस्तं मुकुटं शिरस्यनुदिनं दत्तोन्मदं स्तूयतां ग्रीवायां धृतकान्तिकान्तपटलं ग्रैवेयकं सुन्दरं सिन्दूरं विलसल्ललाटफलके सौन्दर्यमुद्राधरं राजतकज्जलमुज्ज्वलोत्पलदल श्रीमोचने लोचने तद्दिव्यौषधि निर्मितं रचयतु श्रीशाम्भवी श्रीपदे अमन्दतरमन्दरोनमथित दुग्ध सिन्धूद्भवं निशाकर करोपमं त्रिपुर सुन्दरी श्रीपदे गृहान मुखमिक्षितु मुकुरबिम्बमा विद्रुमय विनिर्मित मगच्छिदैरति कराम्बुज स्थायिनं कस्तूरी द्रवचन्दना गुरुसुधाधाराभ्यराप्लावितं चञ्चम्पक चम्पकपाटलादिसुरभिद्रव्यः सुगन्धीकृतं देवस्त्रीगणमस्तकस्थितमहारत्नादिकुम्भवृजः रम्भः साम्भवि सम्भ्रमेण विमलं दत्तं गृहाणाम्बिके कहलारोत्पलनागकेसर सरोजाख्यावलिमालती मल्लिकैरवकेतकादिकुसुमैः रक्तास्वमारादिभिः पुष्पैमाल्यभरेण वैसुरभिना नानारसस्रोतसा ताम्रम्भोजनिवासिनीं भगवतीं श्रीचण्डिकां पूजये मनसिंगुगुलचन्दना गुरुरजः कर्पूरशैले यजे माध्वीकैसः कुङ्कुमः सुरचितः सार्पिभिरामिश्रितः सौरभ्यस्थितिमन्दिरे मणिमये पात्रे भवेत्प्रीतये धूपो अयं सुरकामिनी विरचितं श्रीचण्डिके त्वन्मुदे घृतद्रवपरिस्फुरदृशिररत्नयष्ट्यान्वितो महातिमिरनाशनः सुरनितम्बिनी निर्मितः सुवर्णचषकस्थितः सघनसारवर्त्यान्वितः स्तव त्रिपुरसुन्दरी स्फुरति देवी दीपो मुदे जाति सौरभ निर्भरं रुचिकरं सल्योदनं निर्मलं युक्तं हिङ्गुमरीचजीर सुरभिद्रव्यान्विते व्यञ्जने पक्वानेन सपायसेन मधुना दध्याज सम्मिश्रितं नैवेद्यं सुरकामिनी विरचितं श्रीचण्डिके त्वन्मुदे लवङ्गकलिकोज्ज्वलं बहुलनागवल्लीदलं सजाति फलकोमलं सघनसारपूगीफलं सुधामधुरिमाकुलं रुचिररत्नपात्रस्थितं गृहान् मुखपङ्कजे स्फुरितम्ब ताम्बूलकं शरत्प्रभव चन्द्रमः स्फुरित चन्द्रिका सुन्दरं गलतसुरतरङ्गिनी ललितमौक्तिकाडम्बरं गृहान् नवकाञ्चन प्रभव दण्डखण्डोज्ज्वलं महात्रिपुरसुन्दरी प्रकटमातपत्रं महत् मातस्त्वनमुदमातनोतु सुभगस्त्रिभिः सदा आन्दोलितं शुभ्रं चामरमिन्दुकुन्दसदृशं प्रस्वेद दुःखापहं सद्यो अगस्त्य वसिष्ठ नारद सुख व्यासादि वाल्मीकिभिः स्वे चित्ते क्रियमाण एव कुरुता शरमाणि वेदध्वनिः स्वर्वाङ्गणे वेणु मृदङ्ग शङ्ख भेरी निनादै दैरूप गीयमाना कोलाहलैराकलिता तवास्तु विद्याधरी नृत्यकला सुखाय देवी भक्तिरस भावित वृते प्रियतां यदि कुतो अपि लभ्यते तत्र लौल्यमपि सत्फलमेकं जन्मकोटिभिरपि न लभ्यम् एतैः षोडशभिः पद्यैरुपचारोपकल्पितैः य परा देवतां स्तौति स तेषां फलमाप्नुयात्. This particular way you can read the Manas Stotram of the goddess, and while reading the Manas Stotram you can imagine worshipping the god, offering things to goddess, mentally offering things to goddess, or you can do the mental imagination before and read it, or read it first and do the thing. This Manas Pujan gives you the ultimate benefits, right? This is my tip for today. Thank you.